can teleport now. Woo!
All right. So, when we last left off, the party, basically, they spent last session talking to Kni'it, a tabaxi who they had met, who originally they believed to be a bounty hunter trying to hunt down Ibrin. Found out he's like space-time cop for the plane guard. And the group, after having a long conversation with him, kind of began formulating some form of like what comes next type plan. Not really setting anything directly in stone, but realizing that being on Calvin's cairn kind of sucks when you're a ride and your animals are down in Goodmead. Cue a nice long rest. Cue Kni'it helping Ibrin and Ono awaken planar abilities that have been dormant up until this point. And then the three of them using what he called an arcane sync were able to essentially open up a brief space between the top of Calvin's cairn where this extra dimensional room was, and Bryn'Shander. Brought the party all the way down to Bryn'Shander, which was much closer than having to walk the entire way. Or, find a nearby town to buy dogs and waste money. Upon getting to Bryn'Shander, the party, especially Athros, was met with a feeling of overwhelming dread as you began to notice as a group that the people in Bryn'Shander seem to almost be walking as though they're suffering from large levels of exhaustion, maybe not having been able to sleep, and your suspicions were kind of confirmed with that the people here were struggling quite greatly, and that there seems to be a looming darkness in the town. You talked to a member of the town who went over what their dreams that they were having were like, and I believe it was essentially a falling into darkness, finding themselves in a pool of blood, and then being pulled down, and two large arms grasping out at them, and people would be unable to rest nicely because of that, with the exception of what you and Vas'Kai had noticed. What seemed to be a few individuals around town who didn't seem affected at all. She gave you a list of names. Athros coming in clutch and casting Remove Curse, which restored the vitality of Vas'Kai to a point where she can actually focus. Athros did also have moments where he had what he feels were almost like dreamer type prophecies, people going missing, particularly the sheriff, which was confirmed by Vas'Kai that the sheriff had gone missing a few days prior. And she gave you guys, I believe, right at the end there, a list of names to investigate to see what information you could pull, if any, and asked you to please help the town because her town guard right now is pretty much useless. Anybody else have anything to add that I might have missed?
Athros also removed Curse on Duvessa, and she, I don't know if we want to say immediately, but over a brief moment of time, basically came back to her normal self. And the three names we're looking for are Mila, Chen, and Ayla, which, not assuming, but two of them are female. We ran into a male who wasn't affected, so process of elimination, we already ran into the one of the three.
Was it Shen?
Shen or Chen? I wrote Chen.
I wrote Shen with a C is what I wrote.
That would be correct.
Bam.
Spelling. Who you ran into, you're not 100% sure. They didn't give their name. But
best guess.
Yeah. Some assumptions.
Also for clarification, just so before we get into it, for your records, I did disimbue my crossbow so that I could do the alchemy check.
Right.
Just for your records, so we're keeping good books.
And we found out because Ono was writing messages to the one guy who wasn't affected, he accepted the darkness, which is why he's not affected.
Creepy.
Right.
That's suspicious.
Tough.
So, the party right now would find themselves still in... Oh, you guys, I believe we're going to enter the sheriff's
office.
Duvessa trying to help with the investigation. Being one of the few people who can open his office was willing to open that for you. Yeah, so I think you would find yourselves, those who would journey with the group, Kni'it, Irini, and Spit also in tow. She would lead you all to the hallway. His office is about like 15 feet down the hallway. They're pretty close together, but far enough that there's, no need to worry about conversations being overheard from the inside. She would pull from her side a large key ring that has probably 10 to 12 keys on it, and finagle through them until she finds one that has a distinct marking of the sheriff's official seal, and she would turn it in the tumbler and open the door for you all. As the doorway opens, you kind of hear the door creak, and you see that there's no light coming from the room. This room does have a window on the far side where his desk was, where you've been before. You see a large keg of what you can probably assume to be coffee still sitting on his desk, cold as always. And there's, like I said, there's no light coming from the room. You see some cobwebs that are in like certain areas that weren't there the last time you were here, and maybe some papers that have been tumbled on his desk. Things look a little bit different, but they're not to the point where like this room looks entirely, it looks as if it's their first time walking in. Yeah, so you are inside the sheriff's office. What would you like to do?
Investigation.
Like no windows are open or anything, right? Like it's a windows, the window is closed. It's just dark in here.
Correct. The window itself is closed and locked. It's just dark in here.
Cool. That's perfect timing. Aethros, can you do like a like an aura check? Can you do like a tell if there's like, evil presences within our general area, that kind of thing? Can you do that? Is that possible? You have drool coming off of your right side of your cheek, Aethros. There, he's going.
He's entering and leaving his mind. He's not entirely sure where he's at. Right?
Yeah, Aethros is just closing and opening his eyes really quickly.
Alright, I think I'm back. I'm not sure.
Okay, we
I
can hear you
this time.
Okay.
Wait,
As he says to the group as we all look
Yeah.
at him. What? Where'd you go?
Like, I'm here this time? Yeah, that was in character.
I prestidigitate the drool off the side of your cheek and I go, Aethros, bud, bro, are you good?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is kind of rough. We are in the thick of it, like we usually are. But yeah, do you have like any kind of check of this area? You like an evil presence in this area? Is that plausible?
What was that again?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, above table. Do you have like detect good and evil or something like that? Like, do you have that?
Let me open my character sheet.
Your mic was cutting in and out. I don't know. That's why you said
Oh,
it.
you're good. That's probably because I'm like
Wow.
still adjusting my headset.
While he looks for arcane signatures, I would like to make a general investigation check. If anybody would assist me, I would appreciate the advantage.
Yeah, I'll give you the.
Sure.
I'll give
Oh,
you the.
yeah, I can help.
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
I'll
if
give
you
you
want to give him
disadvantage.
the help action, and I'll guide
Because
him.
you're talking to, yeah.
Yeah, so I like tap the
Okay.
side of your leg. There you go.
Okay.
Fucking Sherlock Holmes over here.
Finds 1 micron of dust that's from a different room. And
This is suspicious.
This is from the realm of the Shadowfell. It does not belong here.
So as you enter the sheriff's office and you begin taking a look around, you I would say probably first start by looking through one of his bookcases, and you begin like paging through a couple of the books in the bookcase, and it seems to be more ledgers than anything else, from like, probably 5-6 years ago, before the rhyme officially kicked in, and you kind of put that away, not seeing it as relevant. You begin looking more closely for any objects that might seem more recent than others. The place that you seem most drawn to, though, upon looking at like his shelves that he has, looking at the windowsill to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, looking at his coffee to see, if it's been, used in the last week. And the place that you seem the most drawn to, though, seems to be his desk. And as you begin filtering through some of the pages on his desk, you see like some of the items seem to be tied to complaints from the townsfolk themselves. You see like a request of medicinal supplies from Mishan at the House of the Morning Lord that has just been no more than probably 4 or 5 days ago been hit with his official seal to give the approval to ideally get more supplies from outside sources. But the vast majority of what you see on his desk is complaints from the townsfolk about just like overall their health seeming to decline. All of these from within the last week. And you want to go through the drawers on his desk, and you find that there's one drawer on his desk that seems to be locked.
I believe I have a lock-picking kit.
Truthfully, I'd be surprised if you didn't, but it'd be good to know.
One night, Aethros just came by, started pickpocketing Ibrin's stuff. Ooh, I'll take this.
Yeah, I've got
This
thieves'
seems nice.
tools.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would like to use that before we just obliterate the desk.
Alright, so what you'll do then is you can make a check with your thieves' tools to try and unlock the pick.
Alright guys, I've got some tools here. I'm about to pick this. Anybody
You don't say it out loud. I'd be like,
Don't.
she's literally in the doorway. This is
Don't worry. I got your back. I pull out my jeweler's tools. Will these help?
I don't know, I think I hear it clicking. Give me a sec.
Yeah, and you begin to flick your lock picks themselves into the tumblers. It's a 3-tumbler lock, nothing too crazy. You bypass the second tumbler, and the first and the third one creak, and you twist your lockpick tools, and you find the door itself clinks open, and you're able to pull this drawer out. This drawer being probably about 3 or so inches deep and probably about 1.5 feet long. It's not a very large drawer, but enough that you could easily store supplies inside for writing or whatever. There's a lot of things you could store in there. And as you pull it open, you see that there's something that kind of shocks you. You see whether laying in the drawer itself is it's the holy book, one of the holy books for the House of the Morning Lord, and pinned to the top is a piece of parchment that has several different areas splattered with some blood, almost looking like they're coming from like a bloody hand, and in the center of it you see a black sphere with a purple outline surrounding it.
One of you guys with arcane abilities, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm just going to leave a drawer open and be like, can you
What'd you find?
maybe
What is it?
take a look at this?
The heck is
There's
it?
a holy book with blood and parchment and some cultish vibes basically coming off of it.
Okay, well,
I'll
I'll do
step
the
back and
proverbial
Sounds like
Arcana
a
check.
dangerous thing.
I'll
I
do
think
the,
that's my old coloring book.
That's first of
Insight
all
check on
impressive.
Athros.
Your skills are awesome. Totally do it.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Ono, what did you say you were doing?
I said an insight check on Athros for it being his coloring book.
Yeah, it's hard to read him sometimes.
I mean, that's given. That's given.
I don't know. This looks like it's better than his normal coloring. So.
Hey, I can color inside the lines sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think within the lines is always necessary. Sometimes coloring outside the lines makes the picture beautiful. But anyways, I approach the drawer, take a look at it. I don't touch it, but I take a look at it. Yeah, make an arcane sigil over top of it. Eyes flash with arcane light. I would like to do an Arcana check on this before I do a detect magic, because I'm pretty sure it's seething with necromantic magic.
While he does that, I'm gonna gesture to Kni'it to take a look at it and be like, "Have you seen anything like this before?" Because Kni'it is still with us, correct?
Yes. Him and Irini and Spit are all technically in the room as well.
What up, Spit?
How? As Spit himself is not, he has no idea what to do in this situation here. He's just happy to be a part of this conversation.
Same. 100% thing.
I feel like when we're not directly asking Spit for anything, Spit is like at attention on guard duty, like prepared to like watching our backs when we can't watch our back, you know?
Yeah, he cares about you guys. And he's very observant, but he doesn't know what to do with the information that he's given sometimes. Looking at it, doing an Arcana check, you, like, as you kind of like run your, I don't know, would Ono like directly touch the parchment, or would he not?
What I would do is I would pull out like several like small tools, maybe like a tong and like a screwdriver or something that equivalent, and then yeah, I would like kind of position it so that way I can like at least see from a different angle, kind of like moving it up to see if there's any sigils or runes that I can see. Not necessarily opening the book, but just like getting an outside cursory look of just like, if anybody touches this, is this emanating magic, or is this if acted upon? You know, like, is it you touch it, boom, or hey, you got to read this sucker, and then psh, that's the get.
Okay. Without directly touching the parchment, as you're like analyzing this, like going through your own like historic records of books that you've read, you like lightly graze your fingers maybe about an inch above the paper, not touching out of fear of setting off something. I mean, while you might not be able to use them, you've heard of things like glyphs of warding before. And you feel a magical presence coming from the parchment itself, but without something a little stronger, you're not going to be able to tell what kind of magic presence is coming from it.
Yeah, I guess not directly placing my hands on it. I will like use my blacksmith's tongs to pick it up and put it on the floor. Before I put it on the floor, I'm going to start doing a circle, a detect magic circle. And I figure we're going to be here at least 10 minutes. So yeah, I do like the inside, so place the book down on it, tongs, gloves, put the book in the circle, and then finish like the circle, like drawing it out for like the next 10 minutes. But, all right, give me like 10 minutes.
And as you draw your symbols on the ground, and you using like your blacksmith's tongs, you place it on the like in the center of the circle or somewhere inside the circle itself. You don't like when you grab it with the tongs, you don't feel a negative reaction. You're able to pull the paper out of the drawer without it causing
any major boom boom damage.
Any boom boom damage. Even as you look to Kni'it and ask him to maybe take a look at it, he does walk over, and he it's like Ono's drawing out his like his lines on the ground for the arcane circle. He gives it a once over without touching the paper. He's about to grab it with like his mechanical arm even, and he kind of pulls his arm away. Kind of like shakes his head. I don't know if you want to touch this. I think Ono's, as like you're grabbing it with the tongs, keeping it out of your hands might be the better idea. There's a lot of darkness emanating from this piece of paper.
It's not good. That's not.
When he says that, if we could use my investigation roll for it, looking around the room, does it look like there could be anybody else in the room that isn't a part of our party? Like, has anything shuffled, moved, dust kicked up, anything like that?
Nothing other than like when the door initially opened, not having been open for 3 or 4 days. That was probably the only time you really felt dust move in the room. Looking around the room, like your eyes peeled for any forms of life. You don't see anything out of the ordinary other than what you would have saw earlier too would be just like based off of the dust on the floor. There was at least one set of footprints that were leading out of the room. It's hard to tell whether or not it's the sheriff or somebody else, but it seems more recent than 4 days ago. That'd probably be the only out of place dust that you would see in the room.
So when it comes to the book and the shelf that it was stored in, does it look like it was planted there and he accidentally touched it? Or does it look like, the drawer is basically a normal drawer?
The drawer itself looks to be a normal drawer. It's a drawer that's, he's had in his desk for a long time. I mean, it's a desk drawer. But you could probably put 2 and 2 together that it was planted there. Whether or not he touched the parchment or, something else set it off already, or if it's, it's hard to gauge what directly tied to the parchment might have happened, but you feel pretty strongly that someone had planted the paper there.
So when
Okay.
because I assume we're all pretty close, when I overhear Kni'it say that, I like switch like several symbols and change gears from like detect magic to identify. Still doing it ritually though.
I just envision Ono like he's preparing his magic, and you just see him like scribble out with like chalk like several of like gnomish script and like rewrites them differently and maybe redraws couple sections of the circle. Okay.
If you take like these gnomish runes and then just like add like 3 extra dashes on the side, it becomes a draconic, and then like a baseline formula. It's not that hard. And then just go from there.
Okay. Identify, does that also have what's the casting time normally on Identify?
It does have a minute.
Okay.
Or sorry, but it is a ritual. It can be done ritually.
Okay, I figured that. I just wanted to make sure that, because like I know detect magic you could do it like over 10 minutes because it's one action.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I didn't step too far on time.
No. I just don't want to burn my daily just quite yet for it, but
I think you did already.
I think I may. Yeah,
you
you're
used
right.
it earlier investigating Bryn'Shander, and you felt
yeah. So then we're doing this a long way. Change gears, fix a couple runes, go from detect magic to an identify, I just kind of like doodle a pearl around with an owl feather, and I'm like, it's not a big deal.
And as you continue your casting, altering your circle as needed, you feel as like you're. I guess is anybody else going to do anything while Ono is finishing his casting? It would be a total of 11 minutes. So I know Ibrin's doing investigations, Kni'it's looking things over too, but is anybody else doing anything?
Yes, I can just go over by the door and keep an eye out behind us.
Backing up Spit.
And you and Spit kind of double team the hallway, looking in each of the other directions, and like you overlook the rail, looking down, and you see like the receptionist person is like once again returned to like facing a different direction, mind you. She's like super like spaced out, like staring at the floor. as like she's like having a hard time staying conscious right now. I would say while his cast is going on, Big Toon, make a perception check. I'll make one for Spit too, just in case. You never know.
I don't think performance is gonna help.
Perception.
Yeah, I know. I just clicked on the wrong one.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm very bored, clearly.
You just feel the
You just
like
walked
the
to the
negative,
door.
the negative energy from like that's like emanating in town. Like it just like not like rubs off on you from like an exhaustion standpoint, but you're just like, man, this is really boring. And you're just standing there keeping a lookout. Like usually there's at least like a rodent or something running around, and there's not even that here in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a fight that I'm clearly not gonna get anytime soon.
As oh no, you finish your casting of Identify. You don't have to touch the objects, do you? Or do you have to touch the objects? I don't think you do. I think it just has to be within your range.
This one, it is required of a touch property, but since I'm an artificer, I can technically use my tools as an extension of myself to get my magic through.
Okay.
Workaround. Sorry.
No, I get you.
So yeah, it's in the same sense of like I have my tongs. I got like my I've got my blacksmith gloves, my blacksmith tongs. I've got like probably like a like the core, like not the core, but like essentially like the working core of like a wand that I'm trying to like build, but I have not done anything with. So it's literally just like a stick, and just kind of like moving around the sigils and touching the book on like its corners for the appropriate amount of time for like the kind of like stomatic component of it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send you a link of what you've. I'm gonna send you a message of what you find.
Oh. Eyes are like glowing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, my eyes are glowing. Like my eyes are normally glowing like they're like normal, like kind of blue pink, like kind of ephemeral shade. And then as soon as like the identify spell it like concludes, it's a bright blast of like kind of like a yellow in my eyes, and then what I'm going to assume in my like coloration scheme of like a ruddy green brown color that follows to like my normal eye color. I turn to look at the group and I go, oh man, I'm glad we didn't touch this. This is boom boom paper with a bad spell attached.
When he says that, is there I'm gonna look at him and be like, is there a delay in time from when it explodes, or is it like instantaneous?
You're asking me that?
Yeah, in character.
This is one of those things that's like you touch it, it goes pop. Like you touch, you gotta touch it. You go pop. Since you gave me the actual spell it does pop, I assume that I would be able to reiterate this to them, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Because Identify allows you to learn a shit ton of information. That would be the information you would uncover.
Perfect. So yeah, like baseline, the paper, obvious, like it's a pop paper. It's a glyph. It's been imbued with a glyph of warding. So somebody put a nasty, and we're talking like higher level than what I'm able to play with right now. Is a blight spell, straight up nasty necromancy. This is, oh boy, this is not good. Not good. I turn and look at Aethros and I'm like, Aethros, you are entirely correct. This is a bad feeling. I agree.
Yeah, I knew books were always bad. This just confirms it.
No, not the book. Not the book, but this post-it note is definitely bad. This friggin' cliff note that someone addendumed. This is a bad bookmark. I'm not.
So,
no.
can we touch the rest of the book, but just not the parchment on the front?
In my best summation, I feel like if we start messing around with this paper, pulling it off, adjusting it somehow, it will pop. It's kind of like you mess with the paper, you're gonna get burned.
What if we throw a rat at it?
What if we throw a
Or
rat
we
at
throw
it?
the book at somebody.
What if we throw the book at the book becomes the weapon? This is
Yeah.
like the pen is mightier than the sword kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Just like slingshot.
I don't know. Whoa, I wouldn't start talking about mighty sword.
I apparate my arcane pen, and I'm like, I can make a magic scroll with that. You can swing your sword. I'm not saying your sword is bad, but I probably do the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
but I can cut your pen though, so I'm pretty sure your
You-
pen can't cut my sword.
Okay, if I've had a physical pen, Kitty, yes, 100%. You know what? This is an argument for another day.
Yeah,
What if
we
you
already know
put
I
the
want
book
turning
that.
it
in
to
the
a
bag of
weapon,
holding?
though, I do like this idea of like, not that we're gonna sacrifice a poor creature, but
Receptionist.
no, that's not evil. Ooh, I don't have the capability of dispelling this, short of like popping this spell, and this is a nasty spell to kind of like get in front of, you know.
So then let's throw a rat at it.
I turn and look at Irini to see how maybe her reaction is at this. I don't know if she's not that she's a friend to animals or anything, but I was just like, I'm fine with experimenting, but then there's like a level of
So
experimentation.
before we blow it, Kni'it, do you have a dispel anything? Something of this magnitude?
Ooh, Kni'it, off question. If you don't have a dispel, do you have a familiar at all that you're willing to like pop?
Well, my other thing is if we can open up the book and remove the pages, we don't need the binding.
I
It destroys the value of the book, but the pages inside is what's the value.
I turn and kind of quietly shuffle over to Miras.
You would hear Kni'it chime in. I do not have a companion that I could sacrifice for this experiment of yours, unfortunately. And he would like begin lighting a cigarette like on the far end of the room.
All right, cool. And any one of us could have lit that for you. No worries. Yeah. So I shuffle over to Miras and I go, "Psst, Miras, hey, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. Is your I don't know the terminology for your specific religious
Deity?
faction. Does your god, deity, patron, or the otherwise provide you with kind of like a familiar of some sort, mystical or otherwise?
I don't believe so.
Fuzz. Okay, I didn't want to blow it up in front of anybody, just to be like, oh, it's kind of like a quiet thing I don't want to talk about. Yeah.
What if we sprinkled some hair on it?
You'd hear, and I don't remember if it's been said already. You would hear Irini chime in. Don't you have Geppetto?
I do have Geppetto. I do.
Yeah.
It would require me to do one of two things. Either I'd have to do it tomorrow, because technically I've already done my infusion today. I already spent my components for the day of that on the jug. But I'm not carrying. I put it in the bag of holding. But I could with Geppetto. I'd have to pop the jug or make Aetheros's shield not as shiny. Is the give and take of Geppetto. Yeah. There's
With
limitations.
the glyph, explode if you put the book in the bag of holding?
I don't know. I want to make an intelligence check, but like the DMGM in my head thinks I don't think so. As short of me putting it into the bag, no. Pulling it out of the bag, plausibly, is me out of game, not doing the roll and not making Dakota.
Oh,
say
I'm totally
probably-
gonna have to freaking Google.
Yeah, like because I think
Ego Holdings interactions with items
Yeah.
with Glyph of Order.
because I know I can. Well, I know I can put it in the bag of holding, no problem. But pulling it out, I think the only way for me to pull it out would be by touch, pulling it out by hand and thinking about it. Though, I think the workaround for this has been proven that Mage Hand can solve this issue.
The guy who's never played D&D before has the question that stumps the DMs.
Yeah, it's not a stump. I mean, like, this is much more as a...
So what if we just use the tongs, remove the guts of the book, go to the edge of Bryn'Shander, and then just yeet the book and let it explode? The stuff inside the book, like I said, is what's the value here? Would we be able to do that?
That's like disarming like a physical trap with a mess load, like a very heavy explosive on top. Is one slip of the wrist and it's bad news Bearstown.
Okay.
Kni'it, do you have another room we can just throw this in and let it explode?
Oh no, given your vast intellect,
That's like,
given that the bag of holding is considered an extra dimensional space, technically when you put it inside there, it is automatically farther than 10 feet from where you had put it inside in the first place, which would trigger the glyph regardless.
right? Okay. So yeah, that's like I think destroying a bag of holding from the inside out is no bueno. I do not want to expel everything into the astral sea. So yeah, I nope, not a good idea. Though an interesting workaround for screwing with someone, essentially. Write that in my notebook. No, I think I really want to pop this thing somehow. I don't have a dispel. None of us have a dispel.
I cast Dispel Magic.
You do? I keep saying it out loud, like hoping like something's gonna happen. Completely out of game. Totally forgot you had Dispel Magic. So I'm like, no, I don't have the capabilities to do this at the moment. I'm like saying it like TED talking this. I'm like, we would definitely need like a magical force to dispel this, to kind of rend the ward of effectively inert. Then the paper is, crumble it up, throw away, save it. I mean, honestly, reduce, reuse, recycle. What are you doing, Athros? Why is the paper glowing?
Don't worry about it.
Alright. So the spell that is cast on the parchment is higher than 3rd level, so you will need to make a roll for it.
Okay. So just
I'm
roll
gonna-
20.
I believe it's a
Make sure I'm
D20.
stepping behind people.
I don't know, do you
Would be
add
on the-
your... Okay, the spell magic and counterspell are two things that I've always been confused on. Do you add any modifiers to your roll for that or no? Or is it just a D20 plus?
I think it's...
Oh, using my
And-
spellcasting ability. So it'd be plus my modifier.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
20 plus 5.
Let's go.
Ooh, that was almost bad. Alright, so as
My old heart attack.
Ono is like, Ono and Ibn are like having this like conversation of like how to handle the parchment and like how it would interact with trans-dimensional spaces. You see, like, I feel like Ono would pull out like some sheets of paper and be like, this is how planar magic
100%.
works. And you just
Yeah.
watch as Big Tune is like, just look into the room and you just see like Athros just like walk over to the paper and like nonchalant just like casts his hand out, utters some like arcane words, and you see that the paper glows this like bright white for a moment, and then you see the magic that was on the paper, a slightly violet hue, begin to shimmer off like specks of dust as it like dissipates in the air. Aethros having successfully dispelled the magic. Good job.
Yo,
I like turn.
if only you were as good at cards as you are at that.
Yeah.
Hold on, that was wicked awesome. It is literally what I described. Aethros, high five.
I touch the book, and then I give you a high five.
Heck yeah. I keep my hand on you as you're touching the book, just in case.
Yeah.
You successfully touched the book, and
Ew.
there's no more boom boom.
Sick. I crack that sucker open and take a peek.
No, my hand's on the book. I want to open it first.
Well, okay, open it up. I mean, open
Yeah.
it. Open it up.
I open the book.
I feel like I'm in the middle of these two having this conversation.
It's the very rare moments when both Aethros and I are interested in a book. Okay, this is diamond in the rough.
Aethros, as you open the textbook, you begin like looking at the things inside, and I truly envision Aethros would like nod his head up and like that makes sense. But like
yes,
but like as you're looking at the text,
I gotta
see,
turn
like-
the book around, Aethros. It's upside down.
This is right side up for me, and I don't let you flip it upside down.
We're standing shoulder to shoulder.
maintains his position.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you, Aethros, the text inside the book, you see a lot of fancy writing, but it's all squiggles to you. There's like paging through random pages, you see like an occasional image of like like an angelic figure or something like shining a light down across like a crowd of people, or like a vision of like a beam of light coming down from like the heavens. But you have no context behind these images. Honestly, it's just a bunch of scribbles.
Intelligence check?
Alright. Yeah, then after that, I close the book, hand it to Ono. I'm like, yeah, I've already read the whole thing.
It's like right next to you. You need to close it. Okay, all right. I reopen the book. Is it in any language that I can read?
Let me take a look at your sheet once.
Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Gnomish. I don't have.
I'm next to him as well.
yeah, actually-
I can speak Elvish.
It would be written in a Elvish language. I would say you could probably recognize that it's maybe Elvish, but you can't read it.
Yeah, it's like I definitely know what like Farsi looks like, but I can't read it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Elvish. Anyone who's got the Elven, Keen Elven eye to Aethros. So now that I'm directly looking
I'm already
at you,
like
prejudice.
I'm already on like the second page.
No.
Like, hey, can you turn the page already?
Yeah, okay, not that fair.
What?
Bryn.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What does it say, Bryn? As I thumb through the first couple of pages for you.
As you
Ready for dictation.
look through the book itself, the book seems to be telling partially like the originating tale of the Morning Lord themselves, and essentially them bringing light to the land of Vas'Kai. It seems to be more standard holy texts. Paging through it, like you don't find any more bloodstains, but you really just find, this seems to be like what Mishan would preach during like a sermon at the House of the Morning Lord. The House of the Morning Lord is primarily the main religion that a lot of people in 10 Towns follow, but in Bryn'Shander especially, it is probably one of the most common practices. You can't find anything else out of the ordinary. You like dangle the book up and down a little bit too, and you don't see like any random pages drop. This book's in relatively good shape. It hasn't really been exposed to the elements all that much. You feel as though this might be something that a lot of people probably have a copy of in their residences, sort of like the equivalent of a Christian owning a Bible. Nothing really stands out other than just the fact that it just it's just interesting that the note was attached to the top of this booklet itself.
Even with my 29, there's no extra goodies or anything.
You don't find anything extra inside the book.
Uh,
Sometimes investigation rolls don't actually give you a ton of information.
Nothing wrong with that. I would kind of gesture towards Ono and be like, honestly, it's just a history of the House of Morning Lord, how they got here, and why there was a bomb attached to it. I don't know, to be honest now, so.
Is there anything written on either side of the paper now that the glyph of warding has been dispelled? If not, no worries.
Yes. Well, yes and no, actually. Now I gotta think about that. You would. It's not that there isn't. I just gotta make sure I convey it correctly.
I would have definitely, as soon as like he would have dispelled it, I would have been like, all right, I'm peeling the sucker off, and then like flip, checking to see if there's like indentations written into it or anything like that. If there's any
Kni'it
disappearing,
was here.
like
What the hell?
yeah, like yeah, Kilroy was here. Bigby was here. So yeah.
The legend of Jenkins Leroy.
As you look over the paper, now physically being able to touch it, you see that this paper is made of that ember script that you had, like it's made from ember script, similar to what you had received from Scramsax from the Northlook when you got the message from him.
Yep. Yeah. Wicked. I turn to the nearest candle and do the same thing that we were also hesitant to do the first time. It took us like 25 minutes to get through it. Yeah, I burned this paper like I did last time.
Yeah. So you like use prestidigitation to just like light a candle that's nearby, and take the paper and just burn it. And you watch as the everybody would see that the paper itself doesn't disappear, rather it just peels off an external layer. Revealed on the inside of that parchment is a 2-line phrase, and the date, the 28th Cameran 4807, so tomorrow. And the phrase is, break you free from bodies tame, and return your soul from thine plane it hath came. And I'll post that in a general. Just
Thank
so that
you.
I'll have it.
Marvelous.
While you're posting that, I guess I would look at the party and be like, well, I thought we had 2 days, and this is saying we have till tomorrow.
I mean, this could be.
Yeah, today, tomorrow, 2 days.
Irini would probably chime in. Yeah, I don't think, like, I would have a hard time believing Vas'Kai would know how much time she actually has, unless someone from wherever this place is would walk up to her and say, hey, you got this many days before all hell breaks loose, and she would, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
quiet
some
back
like
down.
serious. Yeah, it'd be like some serious divination. No, not happening. Break you free from bodies
Well,
tame. So releasing you from your corporeal
The
body.
paper that had the glyph on it, is that common in this area, Ono? Or is it uncommon?
Is the
Like, could we
blight spell common?
No, like the parchment that had the glyph on it, is that common to the area, or are there really only like 1 or 2 suppliers?
I think I don't know if we did kind of get that answer last time we were talking about the fire paper. It is special. Is it special to this region? I don't recall. Though I don't recall if that you gave up that information or not. I want to say you did or not. I can't see it in my notes.
I don't think I revealed that information last time. You could do a history check, I would say, to maybe
I would have
learn
history
more
or-
about Ember Script itself.
Yeah.
I would also say somebody else who could roll. I mean, anybody could really roll a check, but somebody else who might have this information might be Miris. If you wanted to roll one for me too, good sir.
What do I need to roll for again?
A history check for me.
I mean, I can let you do the history if I can do an investigate. They're the same stat for me. I just want to kind of, is it like the same as the last paper? Could these from the same sources?
Okay.
Either or, doesn't matter.
Oh, you
Holy
lucky.
crap! Let's go. I don't even know if I should do
Beer's
it.
coming in hot.
I know. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do an investigation just in case.
Have I
Unless you want me to do a
seen
history.
anything else
What was that?
in my time of? Have I seen anything else at all as I've been keeping an eye out? And...
Horde of zombies coming or something.
The only real thing that you would see that changes, and it would probably happen closely to when this check takes place, is the receptionist lady would literally like keel over and pass out.
Oh.
Like she just
Okay.
like collapses on the ground.
Yeah.
What was that?
Hey, somebody wanna give me a hand quick and go check on her? She just passed out downstairs.
Spit's like right next to you.
I mean,
I got your back.
I mean, you could take Spit and Irini.
I'm on your six.
I was gonna say just somebody who's able to like, maybe heal.
Irini has. Don't you have something? Cure wounds?
I can maybe go and take a look and see if I can help her. It's better than me spending my time in here. And she would, acknowledge that, yeah, maybe that's a good idea, and get up and go take a look at the woman down there. I would say, yeah, that would be that. It's like people are so lethargic. It's just eerily quiet in the room itself.
I just wanted to make sure that there was no people who aren't looking tired, snooping around in here.
The one cleaning lady. Hello, dearie. I'm feeling quite well.
Yeah, you're 7 on your perception checks. Really helping you right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I bet.
It's
I'm surprised I noticed her fall over.
It's a miracle. Yeah, it's a miracle you heard her forehead hit the desk.
Yeah, it isn't so much that you saw it, you heard it, and you looked over at the noise, and she was like on the ground.
She was up, and now she's down.
Something's different here, but I can't quite place a finger.
Yeah, I was gonna say you lean back out of the hallway and go, I don't know if I should be concerned. She was up, now she's down.
Seems suspicious.
Something's up.
Right.
Yours with a natural
Miris,
20, me with a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20. Miris, you've in your travels, like where you're from, down by Xianu, you've encountered Ember Script quite a bit, and you know that really there's a couple big places in Vas'Kai that you can find the stuff. Those being Hearthspeak, which is an entire capital-sized city dedicated to scholarly articles and libraries and magic and the study of magic. The Iris and the Pupil, another location, which is a massive trade hub between the two regions. And then the last one that you've heard of people being able to get large quantities of Ember Script from is Meso-Altarian, which is a larger city down in Vas'Kai. A place a lot less traveled to get the substances. You can usually get it at the Iris and the Pupil before you'd have to travel that far. But those are probably your 3 big locations. As far as it being specific to 10 towns, someone had to have imported it in. You can't get the supplies to make Ember Script up here based off of your travels, and I say, oh no, your travels as well. This is stuff that you'd have to have imported. What specifically, you were looking for something specific, weren't you? Or did I?
Yeah, since he's doing the history, I want to know, is this the same? Because Ember Script, it's like paper's paper, right? But is this there's only a handful of people who probably can get their hands on it and are willing to actually, or willing to, like, oh, you're the one service that knows what I need, picks it up, and who is delivering this into hand. That's what I want to know. Like, with my investigation, I'm like, okay, cool. We can get, I know this is stuff we can get locally. Who is bringing it into 10 towns is what I want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
The first thing that I'd say you do probably is you pull out like the note from Scramsax and you kind of compare the overall quality of the script itself.
Yeah.
There are some distinct differences, but overall, it seems like it probably could be from that same shipment, just based on like where certain damages are. Some of it might have been damaged in travel, but like there's a lot of similar markings on like the edges of the paper that you recognize.
Yeah.
You take a moment and like you remember that Ibram was looking through the bookshelf and there were like ledgers and stuff, and you kind of like begin looking through maybe some like trade histories with like the city of Bryn'Shander. And I would say with your dirty 20 you do find at least at one point there was a supplier who brought this up to the north here, and it was actually sold directly to the town hall for uses of its own. And that person who actually brought it up was the company Torgs from down past the border. But this was probably 3 it'd be like 3+ years ago, before the rhyme hit. You like look through some old ledgers, just gambling on a year, like estimating because of the rhyme. You're like, hard to say how trade would be. You'd look beyond that, and that's what you find. Probably about 3 years ago, there was a shipment brought in. But if someone else has brought shipments in from a similar batch, or like if this is, a different batch from that particular shipment, you're not going to be able to convey that information currently.
Yeah. That's fair. So, okay. All right, cool. So bulk, these are being produced, the notes after the papers here within 10 towns. Someone is utilizing whatever sources within 10 towns is what I'm alluding to. Far out. Okay. Cool. Stow that away in my book. Make note of it. Clearly, they are trying to release souls. This is culty stuff. Athros. Yeah, I'm just getting a chill up my spine. That's not cool. Okay.
Big Tune, I want you to make another perception check for me. I give you something to do.
Uh-oh. That's terrifying. You want me to make like a medicine check on what's your face too, or anything, or?
Yeah, you know what? Go for it. Let's have you do a medicine check too.
Oh boy. Hey, it's slightly better.
Dr. Quinn, medicine kitty, right over here.
As like you and Irini look this woman over, she's alive. She hasn't like died, but she's like gone. She's like entered like almost like a catatonic state. Like you can feel her pulse. She's not bleeding. She's like you and Irini kind of like look at each other, and you look down at her, and you're just like, this can't be good. Like whatever's going on here, it's like it seems to be almost getting worse. And as you two come to that conclusion, Big Tune, you look outside, and you see you're used to it being night or like not very bright here in town, but you feel that outdoors, like outside right now, there's something off-putting about the overall like light levels in the town, and like it looked like even with the torchlight outside, you can like barely see probably more than 30 feet past the door. If I
go outside and take a peek, can I see better? Like not. Oh, I mean, I guess technically, physically see better, but also just like, can I get a better comprehension of, so that way I can relay it to the party.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that, yeah, if you take a moment and you go to the door, you'll probably be able to get a better idea as to what's going on.
Okay. So you said like it's like 30 feet of visibility, and that's about it.
That's what you could see, like for sure. Stepping out, like from where you were in the building, like you could like look out like a glass pane, and you usually like you can see the torchlight and like beyond. Like you're looking out in the town square. You can usually like from town hall almost make out Black Iron Blades from like where you are. visibility-wise, and you can't see that far right now, and that seems kind of off to you as you walk to the door. And I don't know if you physically like actually peek your head outside, or if you just look out the window. To,
Yeah,
like...
no, I'll like physically open the door and like take like a half step outside so I can try to see what's going on.
You see,
and I get
as you take a step outside and you look around, you see almost as if like you've seen Athros's, like you've been inside his shadowy dome before. You see what looks like around the edges of 10 towns a large scale shadowy dome beginning to form, like growing from the sides of the walls of the town upward, and like trying to make its way towards the center being pretty dang close to where the town hall
this is like a la the Simpsons movie, like a literal, like almost like slightly visible dome that's starting to form over the city.
Yeah. Instead of it being like, coming down from the top, it's like rising from the walls upward.
Yeah. I'm thinking of another movie right now. I cannot place it, but yeah, it's like magically constructing itself, like the reverse of the Wakanda or the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Star Wars Naboo.
Yeah, 100%.
As you, even with this 9, I'd say it's pretty evident what you can see here. You like take a moment, like you look down at the ground, and you see in a purple hue sigils of sorts being able, like, slowly forming from the center of town and beginning to branch outward, like following the roadways in town. They're not moving very fast, don't get me wrong, but they seem to be moving at about the same speed as like the size of as the gloom dome is forming.
Yeah. How far away from the rest of the party am I? Like, is it within shouting distance?
Oh yeah. You the door itself, like Duvessa Shane's office is like at the top of the stairs, and it's like the closest office on the second story to the door itself. You're probably about 25 feet total below where the rest of the party is.
So guys,
you'd be able to shout.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a wild suggestion, guys. We probably should just get out there and probably just go look for the danger. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna shout upstairs. Hey, oh no, can you come down here and check something out for me?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my ears perk up. I pick up my tools, toss the book in the back holding. Now that I know it's inert, and I kind of look at the rest of the group. I'm like, honestly, I think maybe we should kind of just get into this. And I walk out the door. Why is there a weird glow coming from the front door? Why is she passed out? What's going on?
And I kind of point towards the sky as he gets closer to the door. And I'm like,
oh,
I don't think that's good, but I don't know what it is.
That's not good at all. Okay. I do see the arcane sigils slowly like veining out on the ground.
Yeah, and it almost feels like they're like alive as they're moving, like they're like almost like rippling in the air as they're like forming before solidly laying themselves on the ground itself and continuing their pathway down the down Bryn'Shander's roads towards the walls. But they're definitely emanating from the center of town.
I turn to look at Victoon and I go, Victoon, you ready to get to business? We might be in the middle of getting into business.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Are they talking loud enough for us to hear them upstairs?
Oh no, yeah. At this point, I'm like, I turn and look over my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, guys, family, we got work. Everybody clock in. We gotta get to work. Yeah, I step outside and just like arcane at the ready. I pull, though it is inert, I still at the ready like have a firebolt ready in the crossbow. I'm like, all right, let's rock. We got work to do. Come on, kitty, let's roll.
Before I rejoin the party downstairs, I would go knock on Duvessa's door and be like, hey, there's apparently something outside that we're being called upon to look at. Can you come with us? And I basically just want to see hopefully if she comes with me once we get outside, if she has any clue after her and I and rejoin the group if she has any clue what's going on.
Okay, and yeah, she would get up from her desk and, with an inquisitive look, come to join you. For but a brief moment, Athros, could I borrow you on Individual Moments channel?
Oh no.
Dun 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 dun.
no.
Oh no. He's gonna have a fit. This is gonna be the cauldron all over again.
And we can't even.
Do I got you?
Yeah.
Athros, as the party is getting ready to leave the, like they're leaving the office, I envision in this particular instance, you're probably one of the last people to step foot outside the office, and you like see like Kni'it walking ahead of you, and you feel this immense like pain coming from the back of your head. What I would like for you is to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Okay. I cannot believe how good your modifier is. Holy cow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's great. I love it.
You have to grab the doorway and you like hold your other hand to your head and like, you know, you've experienced headaches before, but this one is just like as if something is like trying to pierce the back of your skull. And your vision gets pulled from your eyesight right now. Pulled through this shadowy blackness. As you like look around, some of the darkness begins to clear, and you find yourself in a place that you've been to a couple times in the past. The the chamber with the large black sphere and the group of individuals chanting the mind, body, and magic over and over and over again. You see a figure dressed in black and red, a hood pulled over their face with a white, featureless mask, leading them in their chants. As the orb itself now begins to rise from the air, you see this orb itself is probably. Ooh, let me take a look. How big is this thing? It's probably about 20 feet in diameter. You see the orb itself rises up towards the ceiling of the chamber, and leaving in its place a smaller, maybe 10 by 10 foot, a smaller, less intense sphere seems to be circling in the chamber. You see the figure leading the chants begin to take a few steps forward. He looks at the group as the orb is now piercing through the top of the ceiling. Soon, my children, the time will come. The people here will be liberated from their bodies. We will bring about a change, a new era, one filled with gloom, one free from conflict. We will start here. It's only a matter of time. And as the voice stops talking, you see its head faces the direction that where your position is within the chamber itself. You don't feel that they can actually see you, but the featureless mask, this porcelain-like mask, stares off in your direction as a cultist who's behind your location kind of steps forward. Them having a bit larger of a stature than what a couple of the others are. Their race seemingly probably either human or orcish, compared to some of the other people being maybe dwarf or halfling, just based off of their size alone. You've encountered many of these races before, and if you haven't, you've at least heard of them in your travels. As you hear a loud cackle coming from that individual.
We don't have cameras.
It's coming. Prepare yourselves, they'll be here soon. And your vision snaps back to your eyesight, that pain in the back of your head beginning to fade. The amount of time that passed was no more than a few seconds. And you see like Kni'it turn around as like you stutter for a moment stepping out of the door. But seeing you pick up again, he begins walking once more. Okay. We can return to the general chat now.
Okay, I got one question for you real quick.
100%.
So since I could see them, could I technically Misty Step to them? Because I would be teleporting to a space that I could see.
You would be welcome to try. You're always welcome to try.
Oh, I know it's a terrible idea, but I kind of want to try. So yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna regret this because yeah, nothing's gonna happen. But
as like you're as you try to misty step, you feel your body take on that misty like corporeal form, and as you're trying to push yourself into this location, it's too far for you to be able to reach, based off of this vision alone. Wherever this is, it's farther than 30 feet in a direction.
yeah, kind of figured that's how it would happen, but just. Yeah. All
Well,
right,
hey, the good news is you don't take any damage from it. It's just like your body
True.
just returns to its
Yeah.
to its state. So
Okay, yeah, we can go back.
awesome.
Oh God.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lord.
What did you do to my beautiful boy?
Oh, I didn't do nothing to your beautiful boy.
You did the
Not
beautiful
fair.
boy. That's aggressive.
Aggressive.
I would say, Athros, you did pass your wisdom saving throw. Just so if it makes you feel any better, you did pass your wisdom saving throw.
Wow. Rolling a 3.
That makes us feel
That's
better on our
awesome.
end.
Yeah.
Considering you rolled a 3 on it, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, my chest hurts. My chest hurts.
As the party ventures down to the doorway, Duvessa Shane kind of.
Actually,
Oh yeah,
quick
sorry.
question.
Yeah.
Since I used Misty Step, does it actually use the spell slot?
I believe you haven't used your free one.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
see what you mean. No. It would no, you don't burn that free. You don't burn the free one.
Okay.
Because you couldn't
Okay.
actually reach your
So
destination.
Okay.
while Duvessa and I are walking down, do I see him just bamf essentially
No, you wouldn't have seen anything.
somewhere?
Everything, what happened with Athros happened over the span of probably like a few seconds. The only thing that you might have heard, but Kni'it being the closest would have been most likely the one who heard it, was like he stuttered stepping out of the door, but then a couple seconds later he immediately caught back up to the party.
Okay.
As the party is now standing at the doorway to the town hall, you see you all would see the darkness beginning to ripple up the side of the walls, and the sigils on the ground beginning to venture outward. Miris being able to read a fantastic amount of writing. I would say, if you wanted to try and decipher what kind of spell this might be, I will give you the ability to do so with a general intelligence check. Because you can read a butt ton of writing.
What does your tiefling eye see?
Okay, yeah, let's try that.
If I give him a boost, does he get advantage?
I was gonna say if Athros is not doing it, I will tap him if Mirror.
If Big Toon Lion King's
Can I
him
hold
like
him up,
Simba,
like-
does he
yeah,
get a boost?
Can he stand on my shoulder? Just...
Well, this is about, I don't know, it's more so like there's text that's like running right in front of the building, and Miris is trying to read, like understand what the text,
Oh.
the context behind the sigils is.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna tap him and be like, hey,
Big Toon duck down so he can read it. God.
oh, you can't stop, leave him alone. And I'm like, oh, you're clearly trying to concentrate. Everybody, leave him alone. And I kind of put my hand on his I'm on my stilts now, so I like it would be on your shoulder. And I'd be like kind of in opposing, like one hand to our group and one hand on his shoulder, being like, leave him alone, let him focus, and I give you guidance.
So,
I don't know.
Miris,
Why don't you write the symbols just in case. With your little quill.
Mirrors, what it'll be is under your, it'll just be clicking on intelligence and then do ability check for that one. Just because it's not a specific check from your skills, it'll be just based off of your intelligence. I would say, yeah, so it'd be an intelligence check plus 1d4.
Yeah.
Under
You just type in your
situational bonus.
situational. Yeah. I like how the EG is already 1d4, so. Example 1d4. Hell yeah.
You very much so are able to, like I've said, wonderful patron has blessed you with eyes that can read pretty much anything. And you looking down at this text and like evaluating the symbology behind it. The symbols are written definitely in it would be abyssal. And as you look things over, you can't place what spell it's directly tied to, but various aspects of the sigils, as like you're like looking it over, seem to strive to restrict movement beyond the wall. Whatever it is, it's trying to keep you here. You as in the group, not just specifically you, Mares.
Okay.
You vocalize that with your awesome eyes. Like, I assume, like, you're reading the script, your eyes glow an awesome arcane color, and I'm just like, with a pen at the ready.
What does it say? What does it say?
Okay, I don't know exactly what it says, but it's basically just trying to keep us here.
Ooh.
Like, specifically us?
That's what it seems like.
What? Okay.
Like an imprisoning arcane, like, shell, jail, thing. Yeah, ooh. We gotta put an end to this. Aethros, why are you sweating?
So, you know the last time we were leaving the city and I told you about that, like, freaky cult that's underground?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
weird, and it weirded you out, and you felt uncomfortable, gave you the heebie-jeebies, yeah.
Yeah, I saw them again. And they
Here?
know we're here. Oh, yeah, they're under the city. They know we're here.
They're under the city, and they know we're here.
Yeah. And they were laughing.
And they're laughing.
Yeah, like, they think we're chumps.
They think we're chumps.
So do we prove them wrong, or do we?
No, I mean, they're poking at us, so that's fine. That's appropriate. Well, that's fine. I mean, like, if they know that we're here, cool. If they are assuming that we're chumps, maybe we can prove them wrong. No big deal. And if they're listening to us right now, cool. Flark you. Not appropriate. Not really nice. Yeah, let's go. Let's go have a conversation.
But the question is, where do you go?
Well,
And you'd hear like Kni'it chime
that-
in inquisitively.
There is no
that was going to be my
mines
question.
here. There is no, like, in-town mine.
I mean, is there like a sewer
Hey,
system?
Aethros, did your vision conversation show you an entrance, or?
I mean, well, the
enter
last
here
one showed
now?
me one outside of the city, but I'm assuming there's just like a sewer grate or something.
There's gotta be. Okay.
When he says the grade, I look at Duvessa and kind of tilt my head to the side, like, so.
No, we're not in a major city like the Sword Coast or Waterdeep or, you know, Baldur's Gate. They don't have like a sewer system here. We're relatively rural. But a crypt or a tomb system, maybe in the House of the Morning Lord or near adjacent. Duvesha? Is that plausible?
Or that giant
Or?
hole that the one guy blew in the
Or
ground.
the giant hole we blew into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you are so smart. You are a genius.
Yeah, I'm smarter than you. No big deal.
I make no effort into correcting him.
That's fair. Duvessa would look between anybody, like those who were inquiring from her. The House of the Morning Lord does have a a series of crypts below the building itself. Usually, many of our people who aren't sacrificed end up getting buried there should they believe in the faith. But your friend Athros here does have a very... Well, he is very inquisitive on his own. We did find an opening of sorts below where that hole ended that led down into a cavern. It's covered right now. It's not something that you couldn't like. And she like trying to convey things appropriately. It's not covered with anything permanent yet. We don't have the supplies to permanently fill this, but it's covered in a way that children couldn't just fall inside. Someone strong enough could lift up. And she like gestures to Big Tune and like Ibrin and Athros.
Iris and I are strong. So is Irini.
They're just the three closest people. Like she's like not trying to offend. She's like hold up.
Bit flexes. I
yeah.
assume
100%.
Like, full tilt, just like
spit strong.
Yeah, 100%.
There's just some chiseled stone slabs covering it now, strong enough that kids couldn't lift it. We were gonna leave it with wood, but we didn't trust the children in the city. I mean, how often do you actually trust children to not investigate into things that they shouldn't be?
I mean, yeah, 90% of my childhood. Yeah, okay, 100%. Athros, you are literally a genius. I love your brain.
Yeah, I've known this for a while. I'm the smartest one here.
Still not. I'm not gonna correct you at all. Okay.
Would you be the smartest one, or the direction that someone's blast uncovering the smart one? As I gesture.
Did you say you gestured to Irini? I couldn't hear the last part.
Yeah.
Irini is
because her blast is the one that caused it.
We have a handful of geniuses in our family. There's no denying that. But just the sheer brilliant, bright twilight of like amazing, just spark of smarts. The wisest of us all. Okay, for real. Let's make a beeline to that hole. Not to sound weird, and get in there. Again, not sounding weird. Stop smiling, Big Tune. And let's get in there and get nasty. Stop giggling, Athros.
Time to dive into that hole.
Okay, that's
gonna be fill that hole.
That's all right. Okay, stop it.
That's a lot of.
It's time for jokes.
A lot
They're
of
already
people
laughing
taking
at
turns
us.
going in there.
Hopefully it's clean and not dirty.
Something you will probably need. It's a rather straight drop. I mean, we have some rope here to help you get down there, but it's at least probably 100 feet to get to the bottom. Is that going to cause you all a problem heading this direction?
I mean, we have rope. I don't know if we have I don't know if we have all that rope. I mean,
I can teleport and fly, so sure, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, no, I mean, not wicked, awesome, love it. Reserve.
I've got 50 feet of rope.
I mean,
I got 50 feet of rope, and I got a bunch of blankets.
Okay, first of all,
what if we all
precious thing
just grab onto Athros and he flies us down? Does that work, Athros?
No, that's a lot on the caster.
He will probably.
We got a bag of holding, right?
Huh?
We got a bag of holding, right?
We have a bag of holding, yes.
Yeah, you all just jump in it. I take the bag down, and y'all come out.
We can climb down a rope. We have enough rope. You said 100 feet down. We have 100 feet of rope on our person. Plus, I'm sure within this town, along the route, we can find some rope. We don't.
I tossed my 50 feet of rope at
Just chucks it.
Yeah.
You don't fall over from getting hit by
I know, on my stilts. Like, bunched up in my stilts.
Kni'it would look up in the air, and you see that like the darkness that's spreading from the edges of town is probably about 2/3 of the way towards the ceiling. Whatever it is you're planning to do, you should probably go now. If this is going to contain people inside, you might not be able to physically leave if it completes itself.
I mean, I don't think their issue is leaving at this point until we're done. So, no, we've got to solve this issue whether it closes or not. We've got to close. We got to solve this issue. And if they're doing it on the surface, cool. Maybe we should run that way. But I don't know. I think making the executive decision of going below ground is a better use of our intuition. I think getting in there, getting to business, talking shop. I don't know. They're already listening and making fun of us. At this point, they've heard every quip. I just stick a middle finger to the ground, and just well, let's go to the creepy hole and go take the rope. Get down there.
I'm gonna gesture towards Big Ten. Be like, all right, let's go.
All right. Is the party heading to the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be our best. I mean, we're kind of going by the general area of the center of town, but I'm sure. I feel like we're
Well, I mean, we're at town hall right now. We're right here.
Yeah, no, we kind of have to walk around the perimeter of that anyway. We have to run around that perimeter anyways. So we're either going to see zombified people or one or two people walking around extremely lively, and then we're going to get down to business. Something gonna happen.
Yeah. As you make your way towards the hole that had been formed, you make your way past the cold storage area where you had fought Seth at Caltro and into the large area from before. This hole itself being a total of over 250 feet wide. It was a big explosion. And Irini, as you're walking past this and reminiscing on when this happened, oh my god, can't believe that. She's just I can't believe it because I wasn't conscious when that happened. And she's super confused, but also understands that it definitely came from her and probably the Nameless, as she's used her beam since then. As you reach the hole itself, if you're booking at full speed, it'd probably take you 2-3 minutes to get there, versus just walking at a casual pace. You see that the top of the shadow is almost filled. The shadows spread quite rapidly, and you see that there are some arcane sigils, the abyssal texts written that are reaching almost the edge of town. You take a moment to cautiously yet speedily begin making your way down into the hole. Given the steep nature of the incline, I'm going to have everybody make an athletics check for me.
Before we go in, I would cast Dancing Lights and kind of just put the glide further down. That way we can see it, known as a panic attack.
You said athletics, right?
Athletics check, yes.
As a rock gnome, I look at you and I'm like, I'm cool with the dark. And I look at Aethros and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Aethros is alright with the dark.
Yeah, I mean, I like the dark.
Oh,
I
you don't know about Miris.
I'm gonna clap my
Or
hands
spit
together
or
and give
anybody
myself
else.
guidance. I
yeah.
cannot climb very well.
I mean, you're wearing your stilts, that's fair enough.
Well, I've taken my stilts off to climb down, but I'm not. I got a lot of equipment on me, and I'm not. I'm a gnome who reads books. I do a lot of writing. My brain, I'm strong in my brain. My arms are. I hope I'm above Aethros.
End up just sliding on his shoulders and do like a piggyback ride down.
Aethros, did you eat a ration?
Yeah, I had a snack, and then I jumped on my turtle shield and just surfed all the way down.
You're so awesome.
Freaking Zelda Breath of the Wild style.
Yeah.
Did a little flip beforehand too, because why not?
Uh-huh.
Love it.
So as everyone makes their way down into the hole, into the pit, I really should say, where the hole is at the bottom, you can see the stone slabs down at the edge as you get closer. The vision, as Big Tune had experienced, you're not really able to see more than maybe 30, 40 feet outward. This shadowy gloom is definitely enhancing as time goes on. But you're able to see the slabs at the bottom. I would say it would be Ono and Irini, and also, unfortunately, Kni'it. The three of you are like walking relatively close together, and Irini, bringing up the rear, trips over like a stone that's like sticking up in the air, and you, Irini and Ono and Kni'it, all begin to tumble down as Aethros is waiting for everybody as he surfed his way down to the bottom by the stones, and just like everyone, like the three of them just kind of wind up at the bottom there, and like Aethros, I just see like looking at them like inquisitively. Irina's like, oh, sorry about that, guys.
I gotta learn Featherfall. This is one of the things I gotta put on my wish list. As
the rest of the party is able to make their way down at a relatively decent click, you feel a slight rumble, and it only lasts for about 10 or so seconds.
How heavy are these stones?
These stones are... Oh, geez, let's take a look once here. I would say each stone slab, there's two stone slabs covering this hole that was uncovered. This hole that was discovered. Oh my god, my words. And I would say they're probably between 300 350 pounds a piece.
Ooh.
All right.
I look at Aethros and do like the what movie is that? You know, the high five, the buff guy high five.
Oh yeah. We're like, is that Predator?
I know it's a
It's not Arnold
Schwarzenegger
Schwarzenegger
movie.
or else.
Yeah, I want to say it's Predator.
Yeah.
I know you guys are thinking movies. I'm thinking the Full Metal Alchemist meme.
Yeah, I
But,
can see that too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I just look at him, dap him up, and I want to lift these.
I give Big Tune guidance because I assume Aethros has got it himself. Unless if you tap Big Tune, I can tap you. However, the order of operation. I'm giving guidance to someone.
Yeah, I would say the two of you together, either one of you could roll this with advantage, or it'd be each of you individually. It'd be another athletics check. Your first one was to get down. This one's to lift the stones.
What's your bonus to athletics? Or your modifier? Ben.
Ian?
Aethros.
Discord was still refreshing. 16.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to do it, mine's 15, so.
Crash again.
Oh no.
Oh no. Please stand by.
My strength is 16 if you didn't hear it.
Oh, no, athletics.
Oh, athletics?
What's your modifier?
I'm not proficient in it, I think, so just +3.
Okay, I got a +5, so I can take it.
So then,
If we
yeah.
just do it that way.
If he doesn't, I'll guide you. If
Okay.
he's giving you advantage, I will give you the guidance.
Alright. Can we just get one today, please?
Let's
That'll
go. That's good. I'll take that 17.
Heck yeah.
Was that the first one or the second? That was the first one. Okay, good. Oh no, that was the second one.
It's like steam coming off of your shoulders.
Yeah, as you're lifting this stone, I just envision like Aethros and like Ono are your hype men, and
Yeah.
you feel like the veins on like your arms begin to swell, and like with a little bit of assistance, not enough to make a significant impact as you bear the full weight of these stones, you're able to slide one, if not both of them, away if you wanted both of them, or if you wanted one to stay. You can easily fit down with just one move, but if you wanted to move them both, you would be able to do so.
Oh, I'll move them both.
Strong, big tune, strong. As you slide these you like lift as much as you can and then like push them off to the side, revealing this this large opening, being probably about 15 foot in diameter. Very much spherical. You can tell this is definitely 0.0 of where the beam impact had reached the deepest. And you see the cavern going down. The 30 feet of darkness, you're not able to see the bottom because of that. The dancing lights emanate a bit of light, but even with them single file going down into the pit, you can't see the bottom. But trusting Duvessa's Shane's judgment, you feel as though it's probably 100 feet or maybe a little bit more. And you,
Alright.
as you're doing that lifting, like I said, you would feel a slight rumble in the ground. It lasts about 10 seconds, probably about the length of time it takes you to move one of those slabs. The dome itself being almost completed, up in the air. As you move the last slab and you're like getting ready to throw the rope down, all of you hear a voice in the back of your heads, as if talking to you in your mind. People of Bryn'Shander, it is time to cast away your mortal forms and rejoin your loved ones lost to time, lost to sacrifice. I ask you to pray with me. Darkness, gloom, and blackened fire. And as this is happening, I would say probably, what's people's let me look at your passive perceptions quick.
15.
While he's talking, before he starts to chant, since he's linked in my head, could I psionically link with him?
You need to be able to
It is
see...
normally I was gonna say normally it's a visual thing, but I didn't know if we wanted to. Okay.
Oh man, Irini has a crazy good passive perception. It'd be Athros and Ono and Irini would be able to see a large black sphere rising up into the air, originating from the center of town. When I say large, I'm saying that the sphere itself, like based off of your distance, probably looks rather small, but you can tell it's easily 20 feet in diameter, rising up into the sky, as like the top of the orb is like very close to completion.
We flipped a coin. We flipped.
Alright,
So
yeah,
we
we
should
don't have a
probably
lot
go
of time
on
to waste.
the
Let's
hole
keep going.
now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Is like we flipped a gold coin and we chose to go underground and not above ground. We knew this was going to happen. Let's keep hot footing into the tunnels.
And you would hear the prayer, chant, whatever you want to call it, as you're getting ready and like beginning to descend down into the pit itself. Darkness, gloom, and blackened fire. Answer screams of those in ire. Shadowed depths, enchanted blessing, sphere of chaos and spirit nesting. Break you free from bodies tame, and return your soul from thine plane it hath came. As the chant completes,
I'm good.
and the first couple of you begin to descend down, you watch as the shadow of Kni'it extends outward and rises up into the air behind him, taking on a actual like corporeal form. Very quickly after it rises, you see him try to slash out at it, and it phases through its body.
But
You need to go now.
what?
And like the same thing happens with Irini and Spit. Their shadows extend outward and they rise up into the air, and almost as if wanting to attack them, regain like a physical. They gain like a pseudo physical form.
Are they attached to their person,
They have
or are they free of them? So
They've-
it is like a Peter Pan situation.
they've physically separated.
They're physically separated. Okay. So then, I mean, like, we go away from them.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, I look at everybody else. I kind of, I cock my, my gun, essentially now it is. It's just the stock of a crossbow bolt. A firebolt loads up into the front end. I'm like, I don't need, I don't need arrows for this. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's move. And I start backing away. I'm like, let's go, 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 go.
As you like
Yeah,
grab
let's
the
drop
edge of
that
the rope
rope.
and begin to descend down. Who wants to be the last person from the 5 of you to be on your way down?
I'll be first or last.
I'll also be first or last.
I'll go first then.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
right behind Athros.
Yeah.
As the group descends down,
I guess I'd be in the middle.
I mean, that makes sense. I'd imagine after you would probably be Miris, and then bringing up the back would be Big Tune. Big Tune, you kind of tug at the rope to make sure you're steady and get ready to kick your feet off to make your way down. And as you do so, you see, as like you're stepping down, your own shadow reach outward from your body and like rise up into the air. You hear words from Kni'it. Burn, Guinevere. As he pulls from his, as he like runs his finger over the edge of his rapier, you see the rapier take on a flaming glow as it like radiates a heat-like energy, and he slashes through the shadow that was going to reach out and attack you. And you see it for a moment lose its form before beginning to regain it once more. We'll try to handle things from here. And like Irini also like pulling out her, I think does she have a longsword? I think she does. Does she have a longsword or a rapier?
Okay,
I
so
don't think I've ever seen her use a sword.
She
For
has, but
legit-
she's never uses
she
it.
has a
though.
weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
For logistical purposes, Time Cop, Spit, Irini are all hanging out up here.
Yeah, they kind of they tell Big
Correct.
Tune, we'll handle things up here. Figure out whatever's going on as soon as you can. As she like slashes out trying to attack the shadow, and
I
it
make
like
a decision to tap either her or Spit with a guidance before we walk away from them, and just look at them and with love in my eyes and say good luck.
and she gives I would say it'd probably be Irini, and she gives you an affirmative nod as like you hear like Spit say like look out behind you in his standard voice. I just having a hard time doing that today. I had a wisdom tooth removed this
I
week.
rip a firebolt as soon as he says that. I just rip a firebolt off in that direction.
And you hear a shriek as it like hits the shadowy form as it's about to get to Irini, as all of you begin or continue your descent down into the darkness below. As you reach probably about the 50-foot marker, you I would say if Athros is leading, you would see that your darkness, the vision that you had been missing, begins to be restored as you exit the this dome of shadow. It's like reach about 50 feet down, and continue down where you can now, like your dark vision and everything, you can now see as if you could have before. Looking down at the bottom of the cavern, the dancing lights now kicking in, giving you a bright light the rest of the way down, as every one of you one by one are able to regain your vision as you get closer to the bottom. The rope ends about probably 5 feet above the actual bottom itself, so you're able to like let go and not take any fall damage as you find yourself in a dripping cavern. Athros, this cavern is very familiar to you.
You good, bud?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Didn't want to be here, but okay, let's go.
Oh, that's more
Do you-
ominous of a
can
response
you-
than I expected.
Elaborate on that, sir.
If you want to, no pressure, but
I can't because I don't know how to. Let's just kill these guys.
okay.
Or
all
join
right.
them. Or join them. You know,
I-
maybe they're not so bad after
like
all. Let's
kill.
hear them out.
No, I mean, like, I'm pretty cool with erasing them from the weave of existence. That's fine with me.
Okay,
And I
but
have no
don't-
problem with them hearing that.
Don't tell Kni'it, but I'm down for the murder and mayhem part right now.
Okay, well, all right. We don't. I mean,
I
we're
don't
already
think
the
he cares
chaos
anymore.
factor. What?
Like, let's just go.
Okay, all right. Are you sure you're okay?
No.
You're like your upper lip is sweating.
That usually means he's attracted to somebody.
No, I mean that's the same look he gets when he's about to either eat hot stew or about to face trouble, and we're not eating hot stew.
Oh, okay.
As everybody is at the bottom of this cavern and you begin walking forward, there's really a singular path, and it ends at this point. Whatever caused this either to cave in or really exist in the first place, it's hard to say when this cavern was created, but you do see that there is remnants of like stone and ice and snow at the bottom here. How much of a how thick of a ceiling it had before the beam struck, it's really hard to tell, but this definitely was opened because of Irini's blast, but cavern has been here long before. As the party makes their way forward, Aethros, are you continuing to lead, or is somebody else taking over for you?
I'll take the lead because I have seen this place more than them.
I think
right
our
on your
lineup, the way it is probably the best
Yeah.
option.
I'm
for
right next
entrance.
to Flash behind you.
Unless Mirrors, you want to be in front of me, you can be in front of me if you want.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
That works for me. Perfect.
Okay.
So I'll switch spots with Mirrors and I'll be in front of Bictoon.
I got a. Let me see.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got a firebolt at the ready, like just like violently, like crackling at the end of my the tip of my wooden stock, just like I'm ready. I'm so ready right now.
Ibrin, are you going to continue to up your dancing lights, or are you going to let them fade?
Yeah, like every time I could see we're about to come to the end, I'd just keep re-upping it.
Okay. Aethros, I would like for you to make a survival check with advantage, because you have been here before.
Can I guide myself?
Yes, you can.
I was gonna say, if you don't, I will.
It's a natural advantage. Someone's not giving it to you, so it's a little different.
Jesus.
Let's go with your high rolls and your crazy cool dice.
Yeah, you like walk through these caverns, and you've walked this trail in your dreams several times previously, and as you make your lefts and your rights, seeming like the party's just like, how do you know where you're going? And you're just like, I know where I'm going, and just
Yeah,
like
I've been
continue.
here before.
I stopped questioning him after like the third turn. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know
There's
what?
like branches in the cat, like there's branches too, and you can tell that you're descending down deeper. Like there's a vast series of tunnels and that have various inclines, and at one point, like the incline is so steep that you have to like slide down. But Aethros is just like I feel like both terrified as well as just like annoyed, a mix of several different emotions as you make your way down. But you find like, oh no, you're kind of like running your cardinal directionally. You feel as though you're like almost as if making circles around Bryn'Shander itself through these caverns, and seemingly moving closer and closer to the center. Your distance is traveled in each direction, just a little bit less with each turn. You're like spiraling downward almost. You venture forward for probably close to an hour, deep down into this abyss of sorts. The light that you see continues to maintain its strength that it's had. All of you, I think everybody here has dark vision because Irini's not with you.
Yeah.
With the dancing lights and your dark vision, Aethros and Ibrin especially, you're able to see a bit farther than everybody else, since you naturally have crazy long distances.
300 feet.
Yeah, I think Ibrin has like 120, so like you're good to go.
Yep.
And I can even see in darkness.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
have,
right.
you have the
able to do
ability to see magical darkness.
Dim light is bright light for me, and then darkness is dim light.
That's just
And it doesn't
insane.
say anything about not being able to see in color too, so it's full color vision for 300 feet.
Geographically, because you said an hour, geographically, how close are we to the edge, if not crossing into the threshold of the Underdark?
Elevation wise, you're teetering on the edge.
Leave it on the edge.
Like it would take probably another 20 or so minutes before you start venturing deep enough that it's Underdark territory.
I start murmuring to myself. I'm like, yeah, Underdark, yes. Drow, Darkar, Illithid, yes. Oh, Bullets. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. Ooh, hook horrors. That's a nightmarish hellscape. That's good. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. What? You guys?
Yeah, everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
As
Everything's cool when you're part of it. No?
Aethros,
Alright.
there's one final turn that you recognize from your times traveling here, and like you feel good that you're getting close. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't feel good, but you feel confident that you're reaching the edge of this, the edge of your walkway that you have ventured so many times before. And as you make your final turn, you find a room that you don't recognize. This room, what you find is that the ground itself has been, at some point in the past, chiseled to almost feel as though it's brickwork. There are 3 statues standing within this chamber in a large doorway on the far side. So I guess if we look at it as a square, on your left side of your square, you're coming from the south. Your left side of your square has 3 statues. Your right side has an archway. This archway is currently sealed. As you look at the statues, everybody would be able to see this as you make your way into like the edge of this chamber. You see that 2 of the statues are wielding a weapon and a third one is not. The left, oh my god, if we're facing our statues here, the leftmost statue is wielding a spear in 2 hands. The bottom of the spear is standing up and down. The bottom of the spear is on the ground. The middle figure seems to have their hands curved in the air, but you don't see a weapon below where their hands rest. The last statue has an axe, very similar to the spear, except the head of the axe, where the actual chop happens, is what is facing the ground. So the bottom of the axe is resting in the hands of this statue. As you all stand inside this chamber.
Which way is the spear facing?
Spear is the tip is facing upward, the bottom is on the ground.
Okay, so sorry, just for full clarification.
Yeah, sorry.
The left one has a spear with both hands on it pointing up, right?
Correct.
Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
The middle one has hands in the air, kind of in a cupped, curved, empty. And the final one on the right has an axe in hand with the blade like it was in the fashion of striking down. Is this what I'm to understand?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
It is an eerie quiet this deep underground, but you feel as though you are very close to the center of town. Oh no, geographically related to your travels, making your way this far. Very deep, but you estimate you're probably near the center of town.
Yeah. Okay, cool. This is mildly awkward. Are you okay, Thros? You alright?
I get my hammer out. Like, I could just start hammering through that door.
Hey, that's one way of maybe.
That's how I solve puzzles, with a hammer.
By force. It's usually how when I hand you puzzle boxes, that's how you get into most of them.
I can use my sword.
Okay. While they're discussing what weapon, blunt or sharp, piercing, they're gonna use on the door, I just do a quick investigation on the statues.
Okay.
Just take a peek if
Do you want to give me the help action and I can do it?
I mean, is your investigation? What's your modifier again?
+8, 18 overall.
If you want to take it, that's fine. I'll get.
Do you want to do?
I can.
Can he give me the help action for general investigation, and I give him the help action for arcane stuff?
I mean,
I
mirror.
mean, I don't know as far as arcane how
Yeah, it would
great
be a little wonky.
Ibrin would
Maybe.
be for providing that source. You have
think it
natural
does.
spells that you can cast, but the arcane stuff would probably you'd probably want a spellcaster to
Yeah.
do so.
In that respect, I would probably turn to either Aethros or Miras for like religiously. I'd be like, I can give you guys the like religiously who the heck these people are, what significance they are.
Yeah, I got no idea.
You have no idea though. We got here and we never turned around once. We did not make one mistake coming down here. You knew exactly. Not in a saying an accusatory way, Charcuse, but
I mean, I've been to the other spaces. This room is new.
this room is
So
new. Miras, you got anything? Are these statues familiar to you at all, Miras?
I don't recognize them at all.
If you want to make a history check, you could. Here's. It'd be good
It's
for in case you surface level might not recall anything.
Hits a nat 20. Proceeds to
Yeah.
remember it all.
Okay.
It all comes to me.
Yeah. I don't remember these at all. Leans
The
on
third
the
eye
little wall.
opens.
Oh,
on a s-
snap.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. Ibrin, as you take a look around the room, you like, for periods here and there, kind of listen into Big Tune and Aethros like game planning how they're going to break through this door, and you're like, nah, I don't need to participate in that right now. And you like begin looking over the room. You see this chamber itself definitely like there must be some form of key or code allowing entry to the other side. The door, while made of stone, you do see a indentation down the middle, but the center of the door, you see a I don't know, I want to describe it as like a upside down teardrop, like indentation. No, not indentation. The opposite of indentation. I'm blanking on my words here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like
Structure protrusion.
a sconce almost, or a yes.
Coming out of the center of the door. There's no markings on this protrusion. It almost looks like it could be like a head of sorts, like just based off of overall size, but you have no other indicators to give you that piece of information. As you continue to walk around the room, you kind of make note of that. You do see that there is, as you reach each of the statues, the axe and the spear in the two statues that have weaponry seem to be made out of the same material as the statues itself. They seem to be made out of like a carved stone, which is surprising because you, given your experiences and knowing our geographical location, you'd almost expect it to be like Charlatan or something else. And you'd hear like, oh no, maybe chime in about that as you guys like sleuth around the room. But there's what you find interesting, and you kind of like chime in to maybe, oh no, or keep it to yourself. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Is written behind the statue with the hands just cupped with nothing below them. You see the phrase, "Born of light and vanquished by darkness," carved in Elvish in a hemispheric pattern above this statue in the stone.
So there's some saying behind the statue, and I'd basically just relay everything that you just said as well. It reads in Elvish, "Born of light, vanquished by darkness." So
And Mirror's just
I don't know if somebody wants to.
Don't have to have the light spell.
Mirrors, as you try to recall information about these statues,
Go
even
ahead.
in your
There it is.
even in your time like reading in vast libraries down in Xianu and even in a couple cities nearby like the Iris and the Pupil, these statues don't seem familiar. Whatever they are, they might have significance here, but farther significance it's hard for you to gauge.
Mm.
So, as the party is like, wonder what that can mean. You just see like
Sus.
Athros throw up just like a light spell, just like tapping something.
No, that's me having a bright idea. I pull out of my backpack a visual guide to the divine history. I open the pages. Any of the statues match my pictures?
You're a straight up damn genius. I smile so warmly after you pop up the light, and I'm like, what do you do? Book out! That's a holy crap, Athros! 2 for 1 and 2 to 1 same day.
I would say, as you glance through this book, because this book is not extremely long, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you're glancing through the pages and trying to compare it visually with the statues.
You don't do it. I'm guiding
myself. You. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm guiding you. I'm like, I'm so proud of you right now.
It's like,
yes. I'm so proud of you right now.
As like
engine roll a 20.
As you're like looking through the statues, like your visual guide to divine history book, there's a very vague resemblance for the center statue to the greater god Helm, a warrior guardian type deity who has been known to be worshipped by people a bit farther south in Weird, getting closer to the iris and the pupil. He's a really common, not super new. He's not one of the newest gods by any means, but he sits somewhere in the middle as far as the creation pantheon is concerned.
But this is the middle statue?
The middle statue, yes.
Okay.
But it's a vague resemblance. Like overall like appearance, like you see like the way the statue is standing resembles how Helm like is depicted inside this book, but like the helmet that is like on the statue looks entirely different, and like the armor doesn't look the same. But it could be it could be because it's the book meant for children. It could be because it's not him. You feel it's probably more so the latter. It's resemblance, but you don't think it's really Helm. That's the only one that looks anything like what you see in the book, though.
Like a protective thing, huh? That's like a...
You do see that Helm in the book is wielding a sword facing downward, though.
Ooh. Athros.
And I look at him like, I just have a hammer. No sword.
Kitty. Will you... Just for sake of okay, cool. For sake of argument, for sake of argument, God, I don't think this is a good idea.
What am I doing?
I'm trying to think. I don't think we have anything equal to weight-wise, or look, or appearance. I don't.
Before he pulls out his great sword, I'd be like, "Kid, before we go that way, I'm gonna sword and be like, let's see if this works." Kitty with no sword is not a good.
Well, I was gonna say,
the
first thing I was gonna do, but I was gonna prestidigitate an illusory sword in the statue's like hands going down. It's not a good one. It's not a great illusion.
For what it's worth, I do have 2 swords.
Sick. Yeah, can we burn one of your crappy swords and not Sparkle?
Absolutely.
Twilight Sparkle?
Yep.
Okay, so you're.
What were you gonna do, Aethra?
Yeah, what are we trying to do? I want to make sure
That's a great question.
Anything.
I want to turn to Kitty and be like, "Do you have a spare sword?" Yes, awesome. Just real quick, I want to prestidigitate an illusory image, just a really crummy, like an outline, like a neon sign image of a sword in that depiction pointing down in the hands to see if that works. But then at the same time, I'm looking at Ibrin going, what did you want to do? What do you got?
I imagine you want to put a sword in one of the guy's hands.
I mean,
Let's see if his sword works. If not, I got it.
Are you gonna like try to magic a sword in his hands? Is that...
As I'm literally holding a short sword, I'd be like, no, like, And
You're gonna toss your short sword up there? That's fine. No, that's cool. Either or. I mean, I was thinking weight wise, mechanically. This is like one of those, like, oh, it's going to be just a bit heavier, kind of deals.
well, try his sword, and if it doesn't work, we can try mine.
Yeah, either or. Yeah, no worries. There's no discrimination against steel. No worries. I look at the illusion. Does anything?
Yeah, the illusion doesn't give any sort of response.
Cool. So I turned that off. I'm like, okay, let's try that rock. Kitty, throw that sword in there and see what happens. It's got to point down though. Just get point down.
I do that.
Okay. As you place your sword inside the open location on that second statue, I want you to make a. It'd probably be a dex save, yeah.
Holy.
Oh boy. All right.
Guys, we never check for traps.
Nope. Sure didn't.
What are traps?
Sure didn't.
I mean, I feel like my investigation
Okay.
would have given illusion to a trap.
But
But
if it's
apparently-
arcane based, it might not.
Yeah, I did not check it to see if it was.
I said check our.
Fine.
As Bigtune puts his sword inside the slot, you do hear like almost like a, not so much like a click, but like you hear it kind of like notch into place for a moment, and then it doesn't stick, and you're like wondering like, hey, like is there something wrong here? And you feel this large burst of necrotic energy erupt from where the tip of your sword is in the ground, and you like have to like quickly move out of the way as your sword is like pushed out of the statue and like slides across the ground. You hear the scraping noise as the blade scuffs on the chiseled stonework below. You yeah, that's what you see. I would say, Ebrin,
Yeah.
as you look around, like wondering what in the world's going on, how did I miss that? You see on the door, the archway, what wasn't there before. You see now 3 small purple globules, one of which is shining significantly brighter than the others.
Guys, there's now 3 little globs away here. I would assume one is done the correct way, and the other 2 have to get there, maybe.
Or we failed once and we
Uh,
can only
what's
fail 2 more
the-
times before we die?
Who knows? Can I just make a general intelligence check to see if we've done the lock right or done the lock incorrect?
I would
'Cause
say,
assume-
yeah. Ono whips out his book and begins running some math on
Yeah.
statistics on what this could be.
I'm just gonna make a.
Should I go and push my sword in harder? Maybe I didn't do it hard enough.
No. Just chill. I'm gonna make a.
Do we need a
straight up
stone
intelligence
sword?
check. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's rough.
It's really hard to gauge. Like books that you've read about traps like these, like underground, and even some that are tied directly to the Underdark, they seem to weigh 50-50 most of the time, but there seems to be a very slight lean in your statistics as you like finish running your own numbers that it's probably failures versus successes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I close my book real quick just to kind of clear the air, take a deep breath. All right, let's do this the old, fashioned way. I put my hands together. My eyes glow, arcane. Can I, in front of the axe statue, the one on the right, can I just do an Arcana check on that sucker?
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
I just want to. Since that's obviously a magical boom boom thing with the things, I'm gonna try to. Instead, okay.
That's a good roll.
If we fudged up the first lock, okay, how do we make the second locks work? And well, maybe hopefully 2 out of 3 ain't bad kind of situation. I heard a bard say that once.
As you said it was the axe that you were looking over?
Yeah, I walked over to the because I feel like I was standing on the right hand side of Kitty anyway, so I'm like I'm just gonna walk over to the right hand side anyways, and he axe down in hand. I'm just kind of like in that general by the side of it, and just kind of like a glowing eyes, arcane sigils, Arcana check.
Yeah, you take a moment, you kind of run your hand over the axe to feel for like an arcane presence of sorts, and you do feel that there is a slight, a very slight arcane aura. You don't feel that this is directly like a spell that's being cast, but there's definitely a magical presence about the axe that isn't about the rest of the statue.
Okay, all right, cool.
What it is, again, you'd probably need to do more, but you know that there's something there.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, we got an interesting result with physical sword in hand of the middle one. Looks like we failed. Cool. Orbs appeared. Cool. All right, scientific method. Hmm.
I try to put my sword in this one.
No, well, no, well, no.
I have a hand axe. I can use that.
Do you have any hand axe? You really do? Oh, okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little baby axes, little throwing axes.
Little baby axes. Cool. All right. Yeah.
I mean, they're like regular size for you, but yeah.
I mean, like most normal sized items are excessively large. Okay. My brain hurts thinking about it. I like it. Okay, we screwed up by putting an actual sword. This is a magical thing. Don't put that hand axe there. No.
Can I do a perception check to see if there's anything else in this room besides the statues?
Yeah, I'd say you could. Go for it.
Guide myself.
Let's go.
You like focus some divine energy onto yourself and just like, you know, I don't want to fail again, or we don't want to fail again. Like, is there anything that maybe we missed? And you see, as like I imagine Ebron's also probably taking another look around the room. You notice that there seems to be more visibly on the this upside down teardrop on the door, where there wasn't any features before. You see that there seems to be indentations, as if like where someone's like the lines where someone's eyes would be, like where the bone structure for their skull. You see that there's like markings there that weren't there when things were before. You also see that the center pillar that's like housing this entire chamber itself has a couple of cracks in it. Nothing that was structurally unstable, but you don't know if it's from failing that the cracks were there, if they were there the whole time. They didn't make any like audible changes when you failed the first time, other than the energy bursting out from the swords area. But really, the only difference is the door has more features than it had before you guys had tried your first failure.
So you said it had like indentations of a face almost?
Yeah, like where a person's eye sockets would be, like on a skull, you see that there's indentations now that weren't there before when Ebron had originally looked it over. Seemingly as though the stone had faded away to reveal such a structure when the failure had occurred.
Can I put my face there?
Absolutely, you can. Are you getting down to like eye level with it? Quote unquote,
Yep.
Eye level?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
You get down to eye level with this thing, and you see, as like you're like looking at it like pretty in depth. maybe giving it a nice stare down. I imagine Aethros would probably have a staring contest with it.
Oh yeah, I definitely won against a statue.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
As you're like staring at this thing for like a solid, probably 30 seconds, you see two little globules of blue light appear in the eye sockets, and without a mouth, without a nose, it looks like it looks forward, and you see it utters out the words, "Well, you're certainly not the usual people who come down here."
That's are okay.
You're
Hi,
a very
I'm Aethros.
interesting group. Aethros.
Yeah.
Now that's a name
What's
that
your
I
name?
recognize. My name is Demogene. I'm the guardian of this doorway. You don't belong down here, do you?
I think today I do, but normally no, I don't.
And like this face, it's there's no like you can't directly see like an iris or a pupil in these like globule sockets. It's just like two blue orbs of light. I think like almost like Duragar from like Skyrim, or Draugr or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
As like it pauses for a moment, you envision that it's probably scanning the rest of the party. Well, seems you're in a bit of a sticky situation, isn't it? Looks to like the direction of Ono, Ibrin, Big Toon, who's like picking up his sword, and Miris, who's standing somewhere in the room.
All right, door that has clearly sentient, capabilities. That's freaking cool.
Demogene. The name's Demogene. Please refer to me as such.
All right, now you're.
Dermagen.
Don't.
Hey,
No,
whoa, 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 whoa,
no,
whoa.
we're not gonna play the name game with this one because we kind of got to get past Demogene. Demogene, it's a pleasure. My name is Ono. It's you.
Well, now I got the name game
That was
song
not
stuck in my
intentional.
head.
Huh?
I said now I
So
got
that
the...
was not intentional. Oh yeah. That was just me legitimately trying to say it.
Oh,
Not me meaning it. Like,
okay. We're all like, let's not blast this one.
I'm just like, what do you mean?
No, politely introduce myself and the family. Pleasure. So you know Aethros' name.
Indeed I do.
Wondrous. That bears a follow-up question, but I think the most present one is it still possible to get past you whilst clearly we've made a mistake on one of the locks, or clearly not introducing ourselves?
Oh, it's definitely still possible to get past me.
Wondrous.
That is the goal of anybody who sets foot in this chamber. However, you did have a brief moment of failure, which leaves you with 2 more opportunities to find your way through this door lest it be sealed. And I don't think they would really like that, but I unfortunately cannot go about giving you the answer. That would defeat my purpose as a guardian of this door.
I love a neutral guardian. That's respect. You're a testament to your craft, Demogene. Okay, cool. Are there parameters that we're at least inclined to have better presence of knowledge of, Demogene?
Parameters as in... What are you referring to, young gnome?
Ooh, I mean, just in the sense of like, okay, cool. I'm clearly a door. Those are clearly locks, or the likewise. Not like a hey, this is how you solve me, but like a hey, you're playing with the sink when I need you to mess with this light switch, kind of thing.
I will say that you are on the right track to solving my wonderful lock, and that your elven friend had indeed given you a very good key to figuring it out. Please don't fail me. They would be really upset if Aethros could not make a visit.
Then how? Well, then is that? I got 2 different streams of thought. That's you want Aethros to come, but then we're being put to the test. Delightful. I love a test. And then he said, born of light, vanquished by darkness. And you cast light. So that really didn't do anything.
And the light had no reaction. That is correct. Not Demogene speaking. That's just me.
Fair. Vanquished by dark. Vanquished by.
The
Aethros.
sun?
So when Aethros casted light, I did cast darkness. The issue is it says I have no spell slots available,
okay.
but it's a ratio feat for me.
Right. Hold on. I'll push that through for you. I know what I have to change on your sheet to make it not require a spell slot because it's a racial thing. The darkness, it was the same as the light. It had no direct effect on the goal of the room. It reacted the same way that light did. It didn't give off a key indication.
I love a good puzzle.
Vanquish. Born in what? What? Wait, what happened?
Born of light, vanquished by darkness. So we've already cast a light spell and a darkness spell. Clearly,
Is it the sun?
is it the sun? We've traveled over a mile down. We're on the edge of the Underdark. I don't know if the sun is. Although that's wild.
Well, I can't simply give you the answer.
No, that would be incredibly rude.
I mean, you could, considering they want to see Aethros, and by you not giving us.
But you see, Aethros isn't alone today. The rest of you are here, and the rest of you were not invited, as Aethros has been.
Oh,
Should Aethros have been here by himself, this door would have opened without him needing to solve the puzzle. But because you are all here, unfortunately, you do have to solve the puzzle.
okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. I don't think. I guess obviously these unnamed parties don't understand now. They're Aethros is, he's with family, so we travel as one. I know it's probably not concept that they are familiar with. I don't, not to be rude. I don't expect an animated sealed door to kind of equate to that. Not to be no disrespect. It's more of just a free propensity of kind of environment. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, cool. That's fair. Okay. Axe.
So,
spear.
What if we left? How pissed would they be then? That you failed to let us in.
See, the problem is, people try to fool locks such as myself all the time by leaving but not leaving. Now that you are here, the puzzle is set in motion. Unfortunately, even if you were to walk back out that chamber, venturing back down the tunnels, it would not help Aethros' case at this time.
Reset. Yeah, that's rough.
But it wouldn't help your case either, because then Aethros is gone and we could just leave town.
It's hard to leave when you are stuck within a town.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't gone through different doors before that weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, there's a difference between a spell and a door, though.
Is he always this cocky?
I mean, yeah, you have. I mean, you get used to it after a while. I mean, generally that's kind of like his vibe, Man, like well, timetables have changed. 3 weeks ago, man, weird stuff. It was you just this tame. Well, 3 weeks ago, bonkers.
Let's say we really wouldn't even say it's cocky. We literally came here a extra dimensional doorway from multiple towns over. It just
Born of light, vanquished by darkness, but we've cast darkness.
Yeah.
I'm so stumped on this one. This is my brain is itching. I know it's like the answer's right there, and I feel like is it me? I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, is it me? Did I write it down backwards? Bananas. Okay. All right. Statue 1 took a sword. Bad move. Didn't accept it. I witnessed Aethros look into the mask thing. It resulted in very similar results. Now the door is animated, sentient.
Well, that middle statue, you said its hand was outstretched and opened, right? Was a middle statue with nothing in it?
The middle statue had nothing in it, but the hands were curved as if something was supposed to be there.
Like empty, facing upward. So we put the sword pointed down. Can you recast light? We take the sword out. Can you recast light in the palm of the hands? Like I put an object that lays between the two hands so that it can cast light on that object.
Yeah, I guess I'm still trying to figure out, or visualize where the hands actually are. Is it like it's holding something like that would be vertically, or are they like two outstretched hands?
It's like
upward in praise.
The hands are it's as if they're supposed when Big Tomb put his sword in where the statue was, it was as if like there's some form of weapon or something is supposed to be placed there. Like the sword fit in a way that seemed natural to the statue. It wasn't in a prayer. It was as if it's missing like whatever the hands are supposed to rest on.
Okay, so like the hands are pretty much in front of the statue.
Yeah.
Like, together, one on top of the other.
Correct. As if like, and that's like where your book represented it too. Like Helm in your book was like standing in a very similar pose with a sword pointing downward. Hands cupped and everything.
In the room.
Okay.
But there is no sword in the room.
And the statue's just made out of like normal looking stone?
Yeah, it's made out of standard like stone that has been chiseled away into this form.
Okay.
The
other weapon?
And then I believe the other thing was that Ono had found that the axe at least had a slight arcane aura about it, but without further investigation couldn't determine what kind of magic it might be.
And that axe, is it stone as well?
Correct.
Or is that like an actual axe? Okay, so it is a stone weapon.
Correct. Same thing with the spear. The spear is also made of stone.
So we need to find, or I think we should look for a stone sword.
I know. That's what I was like. We're looking for a stone sword.
Can you ritually cast detect magic? See if there's any faint traces of a magic stone sword laying around.
Yeah, sure, 100%. Throw down a ritual circle and divine some kind of magical signature that we're obviously missing.
Okay, so you're casting detect magic as a ritual?
Mm-hmm. At least within the 30-foot radius of our general area, yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything during this 10-minute casting time?
I will ritually cast.
While we're looking, go ahead.
You can go ahead. Oh, mine's gonna be another ritual spell, so you can do your stuff while I cast mine. Actually, we might want to be close.
While we're looking at this cavern and this door, what is on the left and the right side of this door?
The door itself, there's nothing directly on the left and right side. Whatever, this wall here contains just a square carved wall with a door in the middle. There's no text. There's nothing protruding outward. It's a flat surface with the door itself having the only protruding features about it, and then the face
And
from within the door, protruding out a little bit farther. So that wall is completely blank, and then I guess floating above the door is the 3 globules with the 1 lit.
so if we're gonna imagine like a 20-foot or 10-foot room, doors in the center, and then there's just wall and wall, and the door in the middle is the one that's got the face on it, right? That's what's stopping us from moving forward, for instance.
So, if we look at things like a square, the left side of the room has the 3 statues, the right side of the room, in the center of that wall is a doorway. And then in the center of the room is a pillar that extends upward from the floor to the ceiling. But that's the only things that you can make out, like, visibly in the room here, is the statues, the door with the protruding face of Demagir, and the pillar that rises up that seemingly is a support for this room.
Okay.
While Ono's ritually casting his detect magic, I'd like to ritually cast Tiny Hut in the middle of this space.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Why is it not letting me? Oh, it wants me to actually place it. Sure.
Okay. Interesting.
So if the room collapses on us and we're inside the hut, we should be fine.
I see. Okay. I was like, the context behind this.
Yeah.
And you're able to leave the tiny hut as long
Everyone except for me can leave. As soon as I leave, I'm pretty sure it ends.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, yeah. Mobile dome of force. Yeah, so if you move out of the radius of the spell, then it ends. Okay. Okay, yeah, sure enough. Sure.
I love how it's also a dome of force, so anything technically falling on it is not going to fall through it.
Yeah.
It's just
And spells and magical effects can't go through it, so this might be bad. I mean, might stop us from opening the door, but
maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
I metal. That's extreme.
As as you finish casting your detect magic spell, you see that the spear and the axe both emanate illusion magic. You see that the center pillar of the room has what looks to be some form of warding magic upon it. And you detect another possible illusion presence from within that ward. The room itself would be the size would be just out of reach for you in that immediate area to see the magic that pertains to the Demagir in the door itself. But you detect illusion magic from the axe, the spear, and then from within a warded area of the center pillar.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. The 2 weapons that we can clearly see might be fakes, it might be illusions, and that pillar is protected but might be illusory as well, or at least protected and then housing something in the center of it. I look at Demagir. Any expression change? Nothing.
I mean, he doesn't really have features besides those 2
Yeah,
eye
yeah,
sockets, so he kind of just stares into what is assumed to be an abyss. But you would hear Demagir say, "I do feel that you're on the right track, young gnome."
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, that's cool.
Insight check that.
Me or Demagir?
Demagir.
It's good. It is very hard to read his face, but you are feeling pretty confident that whatever vocal tone he has, or they have, I guess, You feel that they might be in support of you guys completing this puzzle. Probably meant what it said.
Okay.
Particularly because it wants you to walk through the door.
Huh.
Hey, Demishir, if we break this column, would that break the room?
Oh, Athros, I don't think you want to do that. That would be a very bad time. I tell you what.
For us or for you?
Well, in general, I think everybody.
I don't think any of us would leave this chamber should that center pillar be broken. But I tell you what, let me give you a hint. Because truly, time is running out for the appearance of Athros in this next chamber. There's truly less than a day, and I don't think you all want to be here for an entire day, nor do I want you here long enough for me to hear your life stories. So I'm going to offer you a small nudge, maybe a rewording of the text written on the wall. But I'm only going to say it once, so I do ask that you please pay attention. I can only live where there is light, but I die if the light shines on me. What am I? Might give you some help. All the resources you need are definitely within this room. This just gives you one additional support in case any of you are not able to figure this out. Although if you fail 2 more times, we will all fall into the abyss.
I can only live where there's light, but I die when it shines on me. And considering our friends are battling their shadows, wouldn't their shadow be the answer?
I realized my mic was muted.
Or shadows?
Yeah, like a shadow. What the hell is that?
Oh, I got it. So, there's the column in the middle, and there's like this. We think the thing's in it, the spear or the sword. We get a light, have the shadow of that person reach through, grab the sword out of the column.
I prestidigitate sparkling lights or behind the pillar to. It'd be better if you cast lights. But yeah.
As Athros is describing what the party needs to do, when Ono and Ibrin come to the conclusion that the answer is shadow, the two of you watch as the warding magic on the center pillar disappears, revealing a small pedestal with a singular scroll laying upon it. Maybe I gave you too much of a hint. Oh, well, I mean, like, go back now.
No, I mean, in any respect, time's wasted. That's cool. I'm saying this as I'm grabbing the scroll.
Do you choose to open the scroll,
now?
We're always hesitant when we do it, so I have to ask every time.
I look this faceless mask in the face, and I just draw it open with no expression.
Yeah, it hasn't been 10 minutes, and the detect magic lasts 10 minutes, right?
Essentially, I believe so. Yeah, let me double check. Right. Yeah.
This is the source of the illusion magic that you had sensed within the warding spell.
Sick.
As you draw it open, I'm going to add something to your inventory.
Oh. We'll check my inventory real quick. That's a.
I didn't add it yet. Give me 1 second. I have to switch between small icons on the side. Under your consumables.
Under my consumables, it is a. Wow. I dive. So nasty. So nasty. I slam my scroll book down, and without saying anything to anyone, I go right into transcribing this.
Oh no, leaving everybody in the dust or in the dirt, in the darkness. No,
Yeah.
no jokes intended here.
No joke.
As he begins transcribing whatever is on this scroll into his into your spell book, I believe you said, right?
Yeah. I know it says potion on here, but
Oh yeah, no, it's not supposed to be that way.
you're good.
As he continues to transcribe this this item into his spell book, and the
Takes
party
like-
slowly begins to gather around. I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Awesome. That was